The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say thank you for joining us for our Metropolitan Chapter Summer Meeting online. My name is Eric Mitchell. I'm the chapter president, and we're going to get this started right now and kind of get through some of the chapter reports and some of our committee reports. And I'm going to have Bryce go to the next slide. We have an agenda for the day. So we're going to call for approval of minutes from our last meeting, which was a long time ago now after this season at Coda de Casa back in November. I'll have my report as president, our vice president's report from Hide, secretary report from Rick. We'll have 3 committee reports that we're going to go through for special awards, communications, and tournaments. We have an address from our section president, Mr. Letendre. We have section updates we're going to have, Tom, Nikki, Jeff, and we have Junko with a report from PGA Junior League. And then we're going to leave some time for old business, for new business, and then we'll call to adjournment. So for the first action, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve our meeting minutes from Coda de Casa. And I just need someone to give me a motion for approval.
This is Rick. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from Coda de Casa.
All right, we have a motion for approval from Secretary Rick Stegall. Can I have a motion to second that?
I second that. It's Cameron.
Thank you. We have Cameron Carr with a second motion. So meeting minutes have been approved for our annual meeting on November 4th last year at Coda de Casa. Bryce, if you want to go to the next slide for me, please. We have a slide here with our current roster of your board members, just so you have an idea of who's going to be on the call today, giving some of the reports and the PGA members that are serving you in your Metropolitan chapter through 2020 right now. I'm going to jump into our president's report. So if we go to the next slide, please. I just wanted to start by, again, thanking everyone for joining in and taking the time out to join us online, especially in the mid-morning. I know some of you are working and have things going on with your clubs reopening. And to do a meeting at 10:30 in the morning, I just want to say thank you first and foremost. Thank you for joining in with us and letting us get together in the best format that we can right now. It's been a very effective way to do meetings through this COVID-19 season. So I just wanted to extend that appreciation to everyone who did sign up today. I'd like to thank our section staff for all the assistance with getting this presentation up and live this morning and for their reports. We want to say thank you to President Letendre for taking time to make an address today, and Junko with our PGA Junior League report. And I want to say thank you. We have Secretary Lohman on the call this morning, so thank you for joining us. And we also have Ken Farrell from our employment consultant division. So thank you, Ken, as well, for being on here. It's been kind of a crazy season it's been almost 3 months now exactly that we've been in this COVID-19 season. And so it's nice that we're going to get back to some normalcy with some golf coming up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'll just want to give a couple updates for the chapter before we move into our vice president's report. And then also just some housekeeping items. So if you've gone to one of these meetings before, there is a chat feature that you can type in questions. And so what we're going to ask you to do is, if you have a question about anything that's going to be mentioned today, even if it's not technically new business or old business, we're going to take those in the chat, and we have Nikki Gatch from the section office monitoring that box there. So type in a question if you have it, please. We're going to hold those till we get to the very end of the meeting for our old and new business section. And if we have an answer for that immediately, we will give the best answer that we can. And if not, I don't know quite if it shows your name, but if you put your name and maybe your email in with the question, whoever has the best answer will reach back out to you just to give some clarification. So please use the chat feature, and we'll make sure to take note of that and go from there. Also, if some of you have called into the meeting, what we'd like you to do is, we only have you registered through a phone number. So if you could please reach out to Jeff Johnson to verify your attendance for the meeting through your phone number. If you did only the call-in feature, we can update your MSR based on that. So if you registered for the webinar through the normal process, we have your name and your email address, and you'll receive your MSR credit. But if you only use the phone, just reach back out to Jeff Johnson after this is concluded, and that way we can verify your attendance, and you will receive your MSR credit for the meeting today. The next update I'd like to provide is our next meeting will be our annual meeting coming up in the winter. So as of right now, we have had some talks with Seacliff Country Club down in Huntington Beach. They're obviously reopening like everyone else. So it is a tentative conversation, but we were looking to utilize the December date for the chapter meeting. Myself personally felt that November 30th was the Monday after Thanksgiving, and people are obviously traveling and being around the country. So we're going to move our annual meeting to the December 14th date that's offered for a chapter Monday. And we're going to continue to discuss things with Seacliff Country Club in order to utilize their facility for our annual meeting. So that's kind of the first update that we like to do. Also at that meeting, we will be doing an election. So one open spot has come about. Our chapter had to say goodbye to Thomas Chu. He, I would say fortunately, found a new opportunity down in the San Diego chapter. And I wished him well and thanked him for his time and all of his efforts and everything that he did for us. And we wish him the best with his new opportunity in San Diego. So Thomas Chu reached out to say that he was leaving the Metropolitan chapter. So if you know him well, or if you're a friend of his, just congratulate him on a new opportunity that he's excited about. And I'm happy for him to be moving on to something better for him as well. So that leaves one open spot, and then we will have two outgoing members from our roster currently that will leave on the 2020 year. So we'll have 3 open spots to do an election for coming up on December 14th. And we'll make more notice about that as the year goes on and we do more communication leading up to that meeting. And with that, what I'd like to do is I'm going to turn it over to our Vice President, Hide, and he's going to give us a little bit of a financial update. So Bryce, if we could roll to the next slide, and then Hide, if you want to get your camera ready, and I'll turn it over to you.
All right, President Mitchell, thank you very much. I'd like to say hello to everyone as well. Hope everybody's staying safe and doing everything we can. We are hosting the section Senior Junior here at Valencia Country Club on June 29th. So if you're signed up, I look forward to seeing you all then. I do know that we also have the Pro Scramble at Monarch Beach next Monday. So thank you, Eric, for hosting. And hope everybody has a good time there. So for the Vice President's report, we have the financial statement as you're seeing on the screen there. Pretty much the net asset is $31,885, similar to what we had last year. And the year before was at $40,000, but we had spent some money in 2019 for the Folds of Honor Pro-Am and the Club for Youth. So that's where you see the less amount for 2019 and 2020. Bryce, you can go to the next screen. Here's the tournament financial statement. As you can see, the balance is $11,858. The liability of $5,000 is basically the 4-ball match play entry fee that is being held for the payouts. Basically, it was $250 per team, and we have 20 teams. So that's the 5,000, leaving us with a net asset of 6,858. So that concludes my report, and I'll turn it back to Eric.
Thank you, Hide. Bryce, if you want to go to the next slide, we're going to now have our secretary's report from Rick.
Hello, everyone. Go over our report here. We have a total roster of 570 in the chapter. Chapter members 465. Chapter associate 105. We do have suspended associates. Our Class A members 388. Life members retired 55. Life member active 6. Life member Century 7. Retired member 6. Reserve members 7, and class.
All right, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Bryce, if you want to roll to the next slide. All so we're going to go into some of our committee reports, and I'll be giving the communications and tournament report, and then we'll have Cameron Carr doing our special awards report as well. So Bryce, we can go to the next slide for the communications report. All right. So during some of the COVID-19 season, we got up and running 2 social media handles, and the greatest thanks goes to Cameron Carr for doing so. You see we have an Instagram page right here listed at Metro_Chapter _SCPGA. So what we're asking is if you can take note of these 2 social media handles and follow us on those, that would be great. We also have a Facebook SCPGA Metro Chapter. So what we'd like to do is, one of the things I was noticing when I attended a couple other meetings as well, is people were sharing their best practices as to how they're reopening, what they're doing with their shop, sanitation, distributing merchandise, carts, etc., whatever it was. And so if you have your online handles, look for these 2 on Facebook and Instagram and follow us. And then what we'd like you to do is, if you have a best practice that you're doing at your facility that we could benefit from or that you would like to share, if you post that to one of your social media handles, just tag us in it, and that way we could all at least stay in the loop together as to what is being effective, what works at your club, for your customers, for your members, etc., and what you've learned through this process, whether it be teaching, business, first tee, however you're handling things. So we'd like you to utilize our social media handles just to keep in constant communication with your other chapter members as well and associates. We'll continue to do regular emails leading up to our annual meeting and some information for our chapter championship. So we'll put out the e-blast, our MailChimp service as well. And hopefully those are being effective, that they're getting. We seem to have a really good turnout today for the online meeting, so it seems like they're being effective to get the open rate and the click rate as well to sign up for this as well, and hopefully for our chapter championship, which we'll discuss in this moment, and then our annual meeting. I'd like to turn over to Cameron. We're going to go into our special award 2019, which we would have normally done in March, and we want to recognize those people now.
Eric and Cameron, sorry to interrupt. Just a quick announcement. If anyone is calling in and utilizing their phone, could you please use mute, because we are getting a lot of background noise. So again, if you're on a telephone and not computer, please use mute. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikki.
Good morning, everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm Cameron Carr, and I'm the co-chair of the Special Awards Committee this year, and I have the honor of officially announcing all of our 2019 winners. So let's get into it. So starting at the top with our highest honor, Golf Professional of the Year, congratulations to Vic Placeros. Teacher of the Year is Logan Scott. Horton Smith Award is Eric Lohman. Bill Straub Award is Cameron Carr. Assistant Professional of the Year, Jackie Regal. Youth Player Development Award is Brian Schipple. Merchandiser of the Year Private, Jeff Brockman. Merchandiser of the Year Public, Tim Terwilliger. Our Player of the Year again is Michael Block. Women's Player of the Year is Heidi Wright Tennyson. And Senior Player of the Year, Mike Fergan. So big congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you so much to all the volunteers for the committee this year. It was a great process. It worked really well. And finally, just a date to keep in mind in the future, Monday, October 5th, we will open up for the 2020 nominations. We'll get a little early start on that. So that concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cameron. And congratulations again to everybody who was an award winner. We're so sorry that we couldn't do this in person, obviously with the unforeseeable things going on with our season right now. And we're getting the awards mailed out personally. And I took the time to write everyone a congratulations letter myself and send it out to them, just to know that we wish we could have done it in person. We wanted to give you the handshake and everything and let you address the crowd. And unfortunately, a lot of things got disrupted this year. So congratulations again, everyone. And thank you for all your service and your great play as well. And we're so happy for the people that represent us in the chapter. And we're super proud to have these names on this list. We'll move to the tournament report that I'll present. Bryce, you want to go to the next slide? Thank you. Appreciate that. So we concluded, or we resumed, we had to conclude our 4-ball match play for just a moment with the COVID-19 season that hit us. And recently we've sent out emails that we are resuming the play of the 4-ball. We have opened up the registration for our individual match play as well. The individual has a time limit to July 3rd. That is the registration deadline. I looked online last night myself and saw that we have 11 so far. We're taking the first 32. And for both the 4-ball and the individual, we're holding to a date of October 31st for completion. We know that each year unforeseeable things happen. We've had a lot of delays, and that's why we started the 4-ball so early, was to get all the results concluded for our annual meeting to present all of the information of our match play winners at the annual meeting, along with the other tournaments prior to that, to do a summary for 2020. So we're going to hold it October 31st right now for both categories. And then obviously either reach out to myself or Max or someone to discuss if there's an issue with getting done by that time frame. But we're asking for all teams and all individual matches, please try to be done by October 31st. That is the deadline for the finals, and we're hoping that that can all be decided at that time frame, and that will give us enough time to prepare for our annual meeting on December 14th. As well as that, we have to talk about our chapter championship. That comes up on August 10th. And so I did a lot of discussion with Max Despain, and I thank him for his efforts. He gave me a lot of wisdom and insight as to what might be the best route to go with just getting back in. Different things happen in different counties, and some of our chapter involves LA County. So with things being so different, we had already locked in to go back to South Hills Country Club in Covina. We thought it was nice to go back to the same facility as well. They've been very hospitable to us, and we had heard from the professional on site, Mr. Chris Frame, that we could go back again for August 10th. That was already locked up before all of this was going on, and we still have that date, we still have that site. It's just now that things have changed with the way we host events, the ultimate decision was made based on communication with Max Despain and I of what would be the best option, is that it is only going to be 18 holes this year. We are going to alter the entry fee as well to accommodate the fact that we cannot do food and beverage or a second round there, but the best decision was made that we need to host a chapter championship. We can't forgo that event, but we are going to reduce it to 18 holes based on it could still be walking. It's August in Covina, which it could be extremely hot, and we need to get tee times every so minutes apart as well, and we usually have between 50 to 60 plus sign up, and it just would not be feasible to get everyone there in a timely manner, and as well let the golf course staff prepare the facility to do what they need to do to get the course in pristine condition for play. So we are going to do that just for 2020. It is something that the season has affected us with, and I hope that everyone can at least understand that this is not something that we wanted to choose to do to take away from the experience. We know that championships should be multiple rounds over multiple days, or at least 2 in the same day like we do with ours, but we're asking for understanding and patience that just because of how COVID-19 has affected the golf industry so much, that this is just a one-year thing that we need to advise the tournament play for this year. And so we're just we're hoping that you can support us in that decision, and that we'll resume our play as usual that we hope for in 2021. So we'll be making updates on that and sending out communications soon once we can get the contract signed and finalize our deal for South Hills Country Club, and then we'll have August 10th set up for the chapter championship. So that was probably the biggest news that we wanted to go over. The other thing was, obviously we've been reduced an event due to COVID-19. So I was speaking with Max Despain and Mr. Gormley, and I thank both of them for their insight on what we wanted to do about Player of the Year, with having one less event, one less opportunity for accumulating points. And so based on their opinion and what they thought was best, with both match plays, the chapter championship, as well as our annual meeting that we're hoping to host at Seacliff on December 14th, those 4 events still provide enough of an opportunity for our members and associates in the chapter to accumulate points, and so that way we can determine a player of the year. So we won't have to do any sort of looking back and where was the standings of last year, some sort of a accumulation of points with last year and this year to hopefully determine our player of the year. So with those 4 events remaining, we're confident that those who sign up and compete will have the opportunity needed to give us our player of the year for 2020. So with that, we're going to allow all those points to determine what the winner will be. So I just wanted to seek out some advice on that and see what they thought based on just some things that we had talked about in the tournament committee meeting. So we're very happy with that. What we're going to do to conclude the tournament report is we were very fortunate to have our section staff create a video that shows kind of the back to golf guidelines, how to come to a tournament, and et cetera, with that regard of ways to get safe from the staff standpoint, from the player standpoint, how to arrive and all that. And it was shot down at Monarch Beach. And so to Secretary Lohman, I extend another thank you for not only hosting the first event back in person, but also this video, which I thought, for me, I thought it was so well made and so well done by Max Despain and the staff that I wanted to share it here as we're getting very close to that first event back. And it just, it was just very well made. So I wanted to share that with the chapter again. And so we're going to tee that up right before we move into our address from President Letendre. And so we're going to let Bryce play this video, which is about 8 to 10 minutes long, but it's just a great information of how to conduct yourself when you go back to an event. And we want to adhere to these guidelines so that we don't jeopardize our ability as golf as an outdoor activity to be taken away from us. So we want to conduct ourselves appropriately, professionally, and safely. And I think this video is perfect to describe all that. So Bryce, if we could get that video playing, I'd really appreciate it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Bryce. And again, thank you to the section staff for that video. It's so well made and put together, and just gives you a better idea of what you're going to be expecting as the normal right now when you go to plan events. In addition to that, there was a video released with Randy Chang and 2 other professionals that was about teaching. So hopefully you got that email as well. We wanted to play it during the meeting also, just to kind of give you an idea of what teaching might be like going forward. But with our time frame from 10:30 to noon, we felt that we just didn't have enough time to get to our section staff for that. So hopefully you got the email for that. And if you didn't, reach out to the section staff. But it's a great video about how to interact and conduct yourself as a golf instructor right now in these times also. So we're going to move into right now is our section president, Mr. Tony Letendre. We're going to have an address from him. And I thank him again for his time and coming onto our meeting. And I'll turn it over to Tony. Thank you.
Well, my pleasure, Eric, and thanks for having me. And just want to say hello to everybody in my home chapter. It's nice to see 85 people on the call today, and I'm coming to you from the club here and kind of the southern end of our chapter. But Eric and the Metro Board of Directors, thank you so much for the opportunity just to say hello and offer my assistance to anybody if anybody wants some ideas or wants to share some ideas on how we're reopening after this COVID pandemic, and as we get back into business as normal. I'm happy to share those with anybody on the line. You can either reach out through the chat here on the meeting. I'll be here till the end of the meeting, or you can reach out to me individually, of course. But just a couple of things that I'd like to address before Tom and Nikki and Jeff get into the real guts of what's happening on the sections front. I'd like to let you know, if you weren't on the summer meeting webinar that we did a week ago, Rob Oosterhouse has been selected as the next secretary of our association, of our section. We had very qualified candidates this time around. 3 individuals had put their name forward, and after much discussion and very long and lengthy discussions, Rob Oosterhouse has been selected, and he will shadow for the next 6 months, and he'll be sworn in at the annual meeting here at Dove Canyon in December, assuming that all goes as well as planned. But congratulations to Rob, and we're really excited to have him as our next officer. I'd also like to say, before I get too far, congratulations to all of the Metro Award winners. I know that I usually try to attend this meeting and like to shake hands and congratulate everybody, like Eric said. And I'm sorry that we had to do it in this format, but congratulations to all of you, and it was very well deserved. And the process takes some time, and appreciate everybody involved. Cameron, as the committee chairman, and your committee and all your efforts for that. So thank you so much. I want to just say, before I turn it over to Tom, Nikki, and Jeff, I just want to say how proud I am of them and how proud all of us should be of them for what they've done in this last couple of months. You know, it's been very difficult and trying times for all of us. We're all trying to learn how to operate our businesses under these new guidelines and under these new rules. It's interesting here in Orange County. You know, I mean, our chapter, this chapter covers a couple of different counties. And I can speak from experience in the fact that our company has clubs in 3 different counties, and just the difference of, you know, county to county and even city to city within our chapter and within this county, Orange County, just how different things have been. And if it wasn't for the tireless efforts of Tom, Nikki, and Jeff for everything they've done with the COVID-19 tab on our website, and Bryce too, and Tyler, you know, for keeping that current, but you know, just staying in line and being online with the California and Nevada chats and just keeping us all informed has been so beneficial. I think we owe a debt of gratitude to those individuals for just all of their hard work and all their efforts to make sure that we stayed informed and trying to help us navigate through these trying times. I know as we get back to normal, or what we're going to call the new normal, I guess, it's difficult. You know, we don't know what we're doing on any given day, and it seems to change regularly. So thanks to those efforts, and thanks to all of that information, they've been able to keep us informed. And we owe a lot to the Southern California Golf Association, to our section staff, and I think we should all be proud of them. So I just wanted an opportunity to say hello and greet everybody from Dove Canyon, and hope everybody's doing well. And now as we get back to normal, look forward to seeing you soon, and hopefully we'll see you out at Monarch later this month. So Eric, thanks for the opportunity, and hope everybody has a great week and great rest of the month. Let's get going here.
Thank you, President Letendre. Thank you for your time as well. I echo his thoughts. That was one of the remarks I was going to get to at the very end, is how much communication has come from the section staff with updates on what's going on county to county and all that. And I totally echo those thoughts. And we thank you to Tom, Jeff, Nikki, and Bryce and the communications team for getting all this stuff out to keep us informed. So with that, we're going to move into our section updates from Tom, Jeff, Nikki, and then we're going to have an update from PGA Junior League following that from Junko. So I'll turn it over to the section staff. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Eric, very, very much. It's nice to be here with everyone this morning on this Monday morning, and very happy to kind of get back in the groove with things happening. So, and Tony, thank you for your comments. It's been a kind of a trying, as everybody knows, period of time since March 16th, when we kind of officially closed down. And that's why we're looking forward to next week, so we can get back started with our programs. It's been a time that's been a challenge. I've used a bunch of different words with the start on March 16th and what we've gone through. Our entire staff, Nikki will get into this a little bit, but our entire staff has been working remotely from that time. We had some adjustments that we made staff-wise as well, but now starting today, as a matter of fact, we're still voluntary where they come in the office, but working from home, pretty much working remotely. But all of our staff is back as of today, and we appreciate everyone's effort, the adaptations that everybody's made. That's kind of been a key word over the past couple of months, is adapt, as well as the word fluid, because we've been in a fluid situation from the very beginning with this COVID-19 crisis. We've been, as Tony mentioned, we've been trying to do our best to keep everyone informed through these fluid times, and the resources that we've put together and researched and tried to get together for everybody. That's been our primary goal, and to keep up with what's happening around the state and around with the different agencies. And I know Tony and everyone's mentioned that we have to pay particular attention to what the various agencies are doing out there, whether it's LA County or LA City or Orange County or San Diego County, Ventura, whatever agency it might be, because even with the state putting mandates out there and guidelines, unfortunately, golf was one of the original activities to be given approval. The governor came out with, as most of you know, the governor came out with guidelines for outdoor recreation, and we were very fortunate to be included in the outdoor recreation piece of the COVID-19 guidelines. So, and everybody's done a great job. We appreciate what you've all done in putting together and following the guidelines wherever they might be. You know, it's been confusing at times here and there whether golf instruction was allowed or golf cars were allowed. There was statements in the guidelines that called for singles. So we even had some golf courses up in Northern California playing one player to a tee time, because they took that literally, where in fact it ended up meaning that was single rider golf cars. Well, now the state guidelines say doubles, and if you ride two, you have to have a barrier between the two of you. So at least those are expanding, just like the county and city guidelines are expanding as well. You've seen Back to Golf, it was mentioned as well. That was a consolidation and a collaboration with the different allied organizations in golf around the country. And the key considerations for bringing golf back, the guidelines were reviewed by the CDC, and the various stages were reviewed by the CDC, whether it had to do with key event considerations and dealing with your responsibilities in that regard. I know that the guidelines also include a food and beverage consideration, as well as retail, as does other agencies out there. The guidelines the state puts together through OSHA and the California State Health Department have been very helpful in reestablishing and reopening in regards to your food and beverage operations and the like. So and your retail operations. So continue to monitor those. We are continuing to provide those for you. We had a great, we thought, collaboration, and I hope you did too, with the Southern California Golf Association on our Play Safe campaign, pointing out the responsibilities that not only we have as PGA professionals, but our customer and our golfer and our member as well out there, that everybody has that responsibility. Everybody has that obligation to play safe, healthy, and be responsible for doing so. We don't know what's going to happen. As I mentioned, it's fluid. There's many more cases being discovered today than there was yesterday, for example. We don't know. It could be the testing. It could be the gatherings that are out there, whether it's social gatherings, reopening here and here. But we have to be very careful, and that points to needing to be careful and taking our responsibility to provide for safe distancing and to provide for face coverings and whatever it might be out there to help us, our staff, our families, our customers be safe and continue enjoying this activity that we're now privileged to be able to provide. So keep it up, keep up with the good work. The optics are very important. The perception out there that golf is a leader, which we have that, and many agencies looking at us in our business, our sport, and our activity to kind of lead the way, and we have been doing that. So congratulations in that regard. We also like to thank the Southern California Golf Association, Craig Kessler and Kevin Fitzgerald and Kevin Heaney in particular, who've we've worked extremely closely with over the past 3 months and getting the information and providing the information, and we appreciate that. So thanks for that, and especially to Craig. And speaking of Craig, and many of you in this meeting today were affected by the independent contractor status that we've been battling over the past year or so since the decision of the California Supreme Court a year ago, April. AB 5, as it's known, which is Assembly Bill 5, as well as a new Assembly Bill 1850 by the same author of the original bill, now has been added, which really puts us in a little better position. We've had to wait the last few months for any action whatsoever, and more than likely it's going to take till the end of the year, we think, for any kind of resolution or amendments to the independent contractor status. Because of the business to business, because of how we conduct our business, we are in decent shape in that regard as we go forward through this slowdown. But I continue to mention to everyone who I talk with that just be patient, get your business license. That looks like that's going to be one of the key ingredients of the potential that we can maintain our independent contractor status. The business license and is one of those pieces of paper that will show that we are independent and we're not tied into any other business, as well as what we're looking at potentially by the state, the requirement that we'll need to incorporate as independent contractors. And some of you who took advantage of the government programs out there through this pandemic, whether it be the UI for independent contractors or whatever it might have been, you have found possibly that being incorporated or has been pretty important in that regard as well, or it would have made it would have streamlined the effort a little bit more. So incorporation is going to be part of what the requirement may be when we get back and work with the legislature, as well as possibly, and this is kind of a reach out there, there might be some sort of certification that's going to be required. We're not sure about that, or whether it be PGA certification or PGA specialization, whatever it might be, but we're keeping our eye on that potential and possibility as well. So we'll continue to keep you updated. We'll continue to advocate on behalf of the independent contractor golf professionals out there, and keep looking at our website, the scga.org website, for information and updated information on all of that. That has been mentioned. We're looking forward to next week. for our Pro at Monarch Beach. Exciting to get going, as well as the senior junior, the 29th at Valencia. And of course, our match play is also started as well. And that concludes the end of July down at the Crosby in San Diego. One thing, you might have seen an email letter that went out from our president, Tony Letendre, and myself regarding inclusion. And I just want to say that we are expanding our outreach. We're developing new and ongoing to what we have been doing outreach. A good example of that would be the city of Compton, and having the opportunity to work with the city and the high school districts in Compton and putting providing golf as an activity for their high schools. And this year, it's very possible we may be delayed because of the virus crisis to next year, but the plan is to have high school golf teams for boys and girls in the city of Compton, which is an extraordinary opportunity. We're looking to expand that and help the city of Compton with other things. As an example, Jeff's going down there this week over to Compton with Eddie Rodarte, who has been the person who has taken control of our Compton programming and our outreach programming, and working with the city on bettering the golf course, making the golf course more playable, among some other things that we might help the city with, as well as looking in other areas of the section to increase our outreach. So we're excited about that and continuing with that effort. The California Nevada PGA chats were mentioned. We have gone to Fridays only. The 26th will be the last chat of the current series. We are going to continue with the chats one a month for now. They have been extremely valuable. We've had continuing anywhere from 120 on up attendees. We were as high as 250 through the height of this, but we're going to continue with those chats. The 26th, we're fortunate to have Mike Davis, who's the Executive Director, CEO of the USGA. Next week, we have Jeff Jensen with the Golf Course Superintendents Association. And then we're hoping to get the tournament director for the Charles Schwab Cup that was just completed this weekend, as to talk with us about how what they went through in regards to putting on that championship. So we're excited about that, and things keep going, and we're going to continue to provide you with the information and activities that you need. Urge you to check scpga.com and our COVID-19 links for the resources you may need. Could be sanitary items, sanitizing spray, whatever it might be. We do provide the opportunity to order those goods that you may need, as well as I mentioned earlier, the Back to Golf and the SCPGA Play Safe campaign. All of the guidelines that you may need in order to do your business safely and healthy, and we appreciate that. We appreciate your time today, and thanks again to Eric for allowing us the time. Nikki and Jeff, as both Eric and Tony have said, thanks to everything that you're doing through this challenging time. And Bryce, you've been a champion as well, and you and Tyler for putting together the myriad of webinars that we've had over the past 3 months, and we really appreciate that. There have been more, not to take anything away from Jeff, but there's been more MSR credits available over the past 3 months than ever before. So we've been pretty busy in that regard, and that means Bryce has been pretty busy in that regard. So thanks again to everybody. Eric, thanks so much, and to your board of directors, and we appreciate being here. And remember, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to call us or call me. Send us an email. Whatever you need, we're happy to help in any way we can. We're here to do that, and be careful out there, everybody. It's still there. Those still very worried about those numbers and what's happening out there, and practice that safe distancing and use your face protection wherever you go. So again, Eric, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tom. We're going to roll I'll just let Nikki, Jeff, and then Junko, you can just kind of go in your own order, and I'll let you have at it, and then I'll come back at the very end. Thanks, Nikki.
Great. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you having us on today. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for joining in this format. This seems to be our new normal, but it's worked very well. So, but certainly miss seeing everyone in person, and hopefully we can do that very, very soon. It's been said before, but obviously our big focus the last 3 months has been on communication and education for our members, and I believe we've done a great job. So again, a nice big thanks to our staff that has been involved with that, and certainly our communications and education committees for their leadership and direction and what we've been able to provide. As you know, for a series of probably several weeks, we had something to offer every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. So we're very proud of that, and a lot of those opportunities will continue. As Tom mentioned, we'll continue with the California-Nevada chats in collaboration with the NorCal section on a monthly basis. As you know, we had to cancel the Youth Golf Teaching and Coaching Summit that was scheduled, but under the leadership of Randy Chang, our teaching committee chairman, and the Youth Summit chairman, Josh Alpert, we were able to still revive that and bring that to life, and still be able to focus on a lot of the speakers that we had lined up, as well as some additional. So we created the Youth Golf Summit virtual series, and we had a series that ran for about 6 weeks, where we had weekly segments of great speakers, you know, fellow teaching professionals here in the section. We were joined by PGA Tour player Colin Morikawa and his coach Rick Sessinghouse 1 week. Legendary Eddie Merrins joined us 1 week. So it was really great. If you did miss any of those, as well as every webinar that we have conducted over the last 3 months is archived and on our SCPGA YouTube channel. So certainly encourage you to take a look at that. There's some great content there, and you still can receive MSR for watching those, as well as the Catalyst series. One other activity that we created, again, thanks to the leadership of the teaching committee, are coach chats. So that was derived kind of, you know, an offshoot, if you will, of the California chats. We wanted to provide something specifically for our instructors and coaches so that they could talk together and you know, how they were dealing with the challenges of not being able to teach, and how do you stay engaged with your students and your customers? How do you provide online tips via social media, or provide even online lessons? So that series has been wonderful. We have taken that from weekly to bi-weekly now. That's led by Randy Chang. We do have one this week, so it's on Wednesday, every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Again, all previous coach chats are archived, so some great content there as we look to, you know, how do we get back to teaching? How do we take advantage of this opportunity where so many people are excited about getting back outside and playing the game of golf? We're seeing all of our golf courses and facilities extremely busy, which is great. So how do we take advantage of this opportunity? You know, obviously we can provide a wonderful option for anyone, families, juniors, anyone to enjoy this game. So look for that. The videos that we've done, obviously you watched the tournament video. We've also done, as Eric mentioned, an instruction and coaching video that was sent out on over the weekend, I believe. So take a look at that, really focusing on best practices for not only individual instruction, but also group instruction, PGA Junior League and junior camps. So as you look to get back into the swing of things. Junior golf has continued to be busy and in preparation. Not only do we start our section events next Monday, the 22nd, we also start our junior tour. So the kids are very excited. All of our events are sold out so far. So we look forward to kicking it off with a Toyota Tour Cup on next Monday and Tuesday. Foundation has been busy. As you saw, we were fortunate enough to make a nice donation to Feeding America at facilities within all 5 of our chapters to not only serve those communities, but to also assist any of our section members or their coworkers that may have been in need. So that was really great. We were fortunate enough to get our 2 largest fundraising events in before everything shut down, our Foundation Classic and also the Give, which was a new event hosted at Virginia Country Club. Both of those were in February. We raised a significant amount of money for the foundation for those, extremely grateful. You know, with that, we're going to be able to give nearly $250,000 in scholarships and grants this year, which is a milestone for our foundation. So Certainly grateful for that opportunity, and I know all the families and student athletes will be assisting are grateful as well. Tom mentioned the office and staff has been working remotely. We will continue that somewhat based on activities and department needs. We do have the entire staff back with us as of today, so we're really excited about that. The office has been professionally sanitized, so all safety and health measures are in place to keep our staff healthy and comfortable while they're in the office building. A couple of other announcements, PGA.coach certification. You saw us make a huge push for that towards the end of last year and early this year. You're going to see it again. You saw some social posts over the weekend. Please, if you have not become certified under PGA.coach, please take advantage of that great opportunity. It'll take you a couple of hours to go through it. It is based on the ADM, American Development Model. Especially if you are an instructor or a coach, this will be a great benefit to you. In addition to that, the next phase of that would be to highlight the golf professionals that have been certified under the ADM. So you will have the opportunity to create your own coach profile on PGA.com, which of course is the public-facing website of the PGA. That has already started. It's in process now. There'll be a huge push for that promotion-wise towards the end of the summer, and then a very large push in early August during the week of the PGA Championship at Harding Park. So some national television promotion with that. So you don't want to miss that opportunity to be one of those golf professionals that is highlighted with a coach profile in order to expose your services and your expertise to as many golfers as possible. So please take advantage of that. If you have any questions on how to do it, how to go through the certification, or how to create your profile, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Anthony Leone or Ken Farrell, or anyone on the staff will be able to help you with that. One other quick note, as to add to the list of things that have been canceled or postponed is the PGA Fall Expo in Las Vegas in August. However, they are looking to still provide education for that. That will roll out next month. You'll start seeing some promotion not only from PGA of America, but from us here in the section. So another great opportunity for continuing education, a wide variety of topics that they'll cover. So look for that in the coming weeks and take advantage of that opportunity. I believe that's all I have, and I'll turn it over to Jeff. Thanks so much, Eric, for the time.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Eric. Thanks to the board of directors. Initially, I'd like to wish, we would all like to wish Michael Block a happy birthday today, hoping it's the best day of your young life. So eat some cake and be merry. Also would like to congratulate all of the special award winners. What a remarkable accomplishment, and all of you will be forwarded to the section's special award program this next year for 2020. A couple of stats that I want to share with you. The section currently has 1,335 members and 277 associates, and that's down 5% on the associate level this year, and a staggering 35% over the last 5 years of associates that have left the program or have chosen not to enter. So we continue to monitor and look at strategies and ways that we might restore some of the enthusiasm for young golf professionals, men and women, to enter the business. 94% of our section membership are male and 6% are female. A couple of reminders that I want to share with you is that the dues, as you may know, with the wisdom of the PGA of America, have been extended, the deadline to pay them, that is, until the 31st of October. And we think that was a significant and a very fair and important move for the association to make. So October 31 is now the deadline for dues for the associates and members. Also, PGM has been extended. I'd mentioned that we've got numbers that are falling, but the PGM program, all three levels, 1, 2, and 3, have been extended for 1 year. So this is good news for a lot of associates who've been disenfranchised or out of work here for a short period of time. And I'd want you to know that on the 19th of June at 2 in the afternoon, an announcement has gone to all of the associates in our section. We're going to have a meeting for the associates to talk about all of the struggles that they may be facing and answer all the questions that we can on their behalf. President Mitchell is going to be on that call. It's going to be presented by the Northern chapter of the section, and we're anticipating a pretty good turnout for this. As mentioned earlier, MSR has also been extended for an additional year. So through 2021, the month of June, MSR will continue an additional year there. And as Nikki and Tom had mentioned, we've produced over 50 hours of MSR opportunities just in the past 90 days. And the Las Vegas show being canceled, as Nikki had just mentioned, offers yet another opportunity online to gather some great credit and great information through the education program, and it will be at no charge. And if you'd like more information on that, would certainly like to share it with you. 51% of our section members have met their MSR requirement, and it's a safe bet that within an additional year, we should be over the finish line. And one final comment, a thank you to our section staff member, Stephen Monday, who's been just remarkable in recording these thousands of MSR hours over the past 3 months, as we've had attendance of up to 250 people at many of our events. And with that, I would simply like you to know that we're always here, and I certainly am, for anything you might need. You need only pick up the phone, and promise we'll make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jeff, and I appreciate that. We're going to turn it over to Junko here, and we'll have an update from PGA Junior League. So thanks for being here, Junko.
Thanks for having me, Eric. Good morning, everyone, or I guess almost good afternoon. I just wanted to touch real quick on some opportunities that are available for you once your facilities and your local authorities, of course, allow you to do so. As for PGA Junior League, we did make the hard decision to cancel all of our postseason events, and this does include our national championship. We just didn't want to put families in a position to make the decision to travel, as everyone knows who have participated in PGA Junior League. As for postseason, there's a lot of traveling, hotel nights involved, so we just didn't want to put people in that situation. But also one of the reasons why we decided to cancel postseason is we wanted to maximize the local league play. So this is our regular season games in leagues. We just feel that it's the most impactful as on our players and as to you, our golf professionals, where you can showcase your value at your facilities and also financially have an impact on yourself. So we wanted to be able to maximize that. So there's a ton of flexibility now. Now that postseason's canceled, you have until the end of the year to do PGA Junior League. And also we've created PGA Junior League specific guidelines. This was approved by the CDC. It's a supplement to the Back to Golf Youth Activities Addendum. And just wanted to note there's a high demand. I think you all know that. I think you see all of your golf courses are super busy. It's hard to get a tee time. But that being said, there's juniors out there too who'd love to be out there and play just like the adults. So make sure you consider those things as well as you get closer to being able to provide Junior League. Also wanted to touch base on PGA Family Cup. You'll begin to hear more about this. This is a pilot program for us in the state of California. So if you've been involved with PGA Junior League, you'll know that it brings everyone together. So PGA Family Cup, this is a reimagined form of a parent-child event. So now you can have a team of father, mother, daughter, grandpa, grandma, whoever, be a part of a team and play a fun format at your golf course. So this also just brings everyone together. So another, again, opportunity for you to get people out there and families out there, kids out there. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any other questions regarding any of these programs, but also just I'm here to help. So please know that. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Junko. We really appreciate that. And please reach out to her if you have any questions about PGA Junior League and getting your kids back out on the golf course. I know they're probably itching to go and just ready to play some golf after all that we've been through for the past 3 months. So thank you for the update. We're going to have an addition because we have enough time here. We have Ken Farrell on the phone call. So Bryce, you can leave the slide on the business one. That's fine. We're going to let Ken Farrell make an address to us. And thank you for being here, Ken, and take it away.
Thank you, Eric. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well and back to golf and enjoying the game. Wanted to let you know about a few things. First thing being PGA.org. I think a lot of you know that PGA Career Links is going away. That's where we would post management positions. Everything's going to go on the job board now at PGA.org. And as a result, you'll want to go to PGA.org, click on jobs, look at the top, and you'll see job preferences. If you'll just click on that, answer those quick 6 questions, and then jobs that match those 6 questions will actually show up under your account. So you'll be able to see those. But you will be able to see every job that's posted nationally. All you have to do is go to the left-hand side, click on the sections you're interested in, and you'll be able to see everything that's been posted. New look for PGA.org. National has been working feverishly on making that easier to use. Hopefully you're finding it easier to use, but remember one thing, the best thing is the search area where you just click on that, type in what you need, and you'll be able to find what you need. If you can't find something in there, and there is a lot, just reach out to me and I'll help you find it, because I'm in there all the time as a result of my job working nationally, and happy to help you there. Lifelong learning strategy, 110 people within the section signed up for specialization in the 3 areas of teaching and coaching, executive management, golf operations, and many of you have completed that already. Some of you are still working on it. Keep in mind one thing, that was a $350 charge to have access to the library. It is no cost through June 30th. And then after June 30th, you'll still have an additional 30 days to submit your materials. But the cutoff date is June 30th, so that's coming up very shortly. My PGA Journey is an interactive mentor program. If you're in need of some mentoring, you can go to mypgajourney.com, and several professionals around the country in specific areas of management, operations, teaching, and coaching are there to assist you and talk with you about your career, let you know how they achieved some of the things that they did. It's a neat mentoring program that I think a lot of people could take advantage of and get a benefit from. Member Assistance Program, it is a $5 charge. National has made a support link available to all members and associates, which is completely confidential. Includes professional counseling in a wide array of personal and work-related concerns, short-term counseling, legal and financial consulting, dependent care referrals, technology-based resources, et cetera, all for $5. That's called the Member Assistance Program. You can see that on pga.org, or you can go to, pga.org for that. Golf Retirement Plus. If you're not taking advantage of Golf Retirement Plus, I would suggest that you do so. I know some golf professionals who have been doing it for a long time, and they say it's not much on a daily basis, but by the time they work through their career, they look back and said, hey, I did pretty good. Interestingly enough, you will need to update your account on an annual basis. I just heard that the PGA has a whole bunch of money sitting there waiting to be distributed into PGA member accounts, but they haven't updated their account. And as a result, the money is just sitting there. So if you are a part of Golf Retirement Plus, go to, actually you can call Golf Retirement Plus. It's 833-742-7587. You can find it on pga.org, the information on pga.org. Update your account so you can get your money if you have some that is due to you. PGA Perk Spot is a program. Hopefully many of you are taking advantage of that. Over 300 PGA merchants or merchants are involved with the PGA, offering great discounts. Verizon, Sprint, Apple, Samsung, Costco, Target, Omega, KitchenAid, National Car Rentals, those kind of things at significant discounts. So hopefully you're taking advantage of that. That would conclude my report. Mr. President, thank you for giving me a couple of moments, and best to all of you.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that. Glad we could fit you in for the meeting, and thanks for being here as well. So like we said earlier, we have a chat feature down here for questions. I will open it up for old business, and I'll make a couple calls, and then I will make a call for new business. So if you see the window that popped up when you joined, there's a question with a little arrow. Click on that. You can type in, and myself and Nikki, we're all monitoring that. So if you have a question for old business or just any old business you want to bring up, we'll go for that now. First call for old business. All right. Make a second call for old business. And a final call. This will be final call for old business, and then we'll move on. All right, we have no old business to report of so far, so we'll make a first call for new business. First call, new business. Second call, new business. Last call for new business, last call. All right, we have no new business. Just in spirit of how our meetings would usually go if we were in person, I'm sure Joe Groman has something going on with clinics or trying to get that back up. So if you have any time for clinics for our children with special needs or disabled vets or anything like that, find Joe Groman somehow. So I'll do that in honor of him because he always had new business to mention. So I'll do that in his regard. And hopefully, Joe, if you're not on the call, you'll see this at some point. So we will move on to the final slide for adjournment. Bryce, if you go with the last one. I want to say a final thank you for coming on. Thank you for your time. Thank you for Tom, Jeff, and Nikki with the section updates and all that you do for us. We're so appreciative of your efforts through this season. Thank you for Junko for putting PGA Junior League back on our brains, and please reach out to her for anything that you need with that, and for Ken Farrell with our employment consultants and all that he does to help us get through this time of a lot of unemployment and career change and things like that. So thank you for all your updates. I appreciate Bryce and all his efforts with getting this presentation ready, and to my board as well. It takes a lot of communication to get all the information we provide, and a lot of communication through email and phone call to get the best information to provide for you for these meetings. This was not the way I wanted my first meeting as president to go, but I hope that you had a great time. I hope that you have a great week and that you're getting back to some sort of normalcy at your businesses. And I just wish that you would be safe, follow the guidelines, keep golf in business. Don't put a bad optic out there that could take this away from us. And lastly, follow our social media handles and share your information, your best practices. And we hope to see you in person soon for our annual meeting, hopefully on December 14th at Seacliff Country Club. Thank you all, and take care.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.